Spiritual Living. My name is Alva, Baltimore, and I'm blessed and privileged to be one of your licensed practitioners. But today I'm up here because I'm the guest speaker, or the home speaker. And we're going to be talking about the power of community, the power of we. And so I would like you to open your hearts and minds to whatever's here for you, enjoy yourself. And how many of you are here for the first time? If you are, please raise your hand and keep them raised. Thank you and welcome.
So happy that I'm home. And so to honor community and to honor the sacred container that we have, I'm going to sing Home from Wiz. The Wiz.
And so in that spirit and in that place, we begin our new member ritual. So I'm so delighted to have all of you here to be witnesses, to hold that container for these beautiful souls who have chosen to become members of the Center for Spiritual Living Dallas. And as you all know, and for those of you who have experienced this ritual, it's a way of saying we are committed, we are dedicated, we are at home here. And home means many things to many people. It's a place of peace. It's a place where you can be your authentic self. It's a place where you're encouraged to grow and to shine and to give and to just be, that individualized expression of spirit that you were created to be. And so into that place of absolute love and absolute trust and absolute knowingness, we welcome these beautiful new members. So pals, I'm going to ask you to come up here and turn around. And new members, if you will come up and face your pals. Okay, everybody where they need to be. Sharon, if you will come on up here. And I want to, and while Sharon Lynn's coming up here, I want to acknowledge Renee Bryant for helping with this process, and I also want to recognize Christine Baltimore for co-facilitating the new membership class that these people took for the last 3 weeks to learn more about the center and who we are and what we do. So our first new member I would like to present is Iman. And her beautiful partner, Dee, had to work today, so she's not here with us, but just to see Dee standing there next to her. And then their beautiful son, Noah. Where did Noah go?
You right off.
Oh, okay. Well, they have a beautiful little 5-year-old son who also took the classes. He was amazing. He hung right in there with us, so we're welcoming Noah into the community as well. And then we have Lisa. And we have Skip Roberts. Beautiful wife Peggy is also joining, but she's out of town celebrating her birthday with her daughter, so she wasn't able to join us today, but we welcome her. She's holding that space for us. So Sharon Lynn, you want to give them their packets?
So this is to bless the already blessed. As you raise your hands, I absolutely know that the love of God, the unconditional essence that breathes and lives and has its being in and every member of this community, welcomes these new members and those that took the classes and cannot be here in form with us. They are here in spirit. I look forward to great things, great blessings, great growth, great experience. Absolutely knowing that the smiles that are on these faces and the experiences with which they brought with them is enriching all of us. So it is with God's blessing that I, as one of God's servants, welcome into membership in this home, my home, our home, your home. And so it is.
New Member Sunday, wow. I've been here 8 years, and every single New Member Sunday makes me cry. And I don't know why I scheduled myself to give a talk on New Member Sunday, but let's see if I can do it. The power of community, the power of we. What I believe is the power in community and the power in we that's back of it, that's in, as, and through it, is love. I believe that community is simply just another name for love. Many of us had the experience when we came through the doors here that we felt home. We felt seen, we felt loved, we felt accepted for exactly who we are. Many of us grow up thinking that we're odd and we're different. And yes, we are different to a sense, but like somehow you didn't feel like you just quite fit in. And you came through these doors and you stayed, and that was washed away. That is the power of community. That is the power of love. That is what we are about here at the Center for Spiritual Living. I've been thinking about this power of we, and it's an odd thing that many of us feel so alone, because the truth is we're never really alone, even when you're at home, unless you live, and there might be a couple of us that live hours away from anyone else, but the truth is they're sentient beings right where you are, whether it's the trees or it's the plants or it's animals. So the truth is we're never really alone, not even when we pop into the world. I was thinking about that. From the moment we hit the planet, we are welcomed into we. We are welcomed into community, whether it's the doctor or the nurses or it's our family members or our caregivers. Love meets us the second we hit the planet. Love carries us for 9 months or however long that we are inside the womb. We are always surrounded and supported by life itself. So it's no wonder that we would gravitate towards others, that we'd want to connect, that we'd want to be a part of something larger than ourselves. The beauty of this precious community and this philosophy that we teach is, for many of us when we come through the door, it's the first time that we ever hear the message that we're perfect, whole, and complete, that we're not broken, that we're not less than, that we're not too old, that something isn't wrong in our life, that you are a divine, precious, powerful incarnation of the One. Somebody almost 50 years ago began this precious community. Somebody 80 plus years ago came up with this precious philosophy so that when you came through the door, you would know the truth of who you are. And while all those old false beliefs were falling off, there was somebody to support you. There was somebody to mirror your perfection to you while you were awakening to the truth of who you are, planting and watering that seed with your spiritual practice, with your love, with your service, with your community. Wow. That's no small thing that we do together. It's no small thing that we are here for one another. And someone created that space so that we could be here first for ourselves. And as we do that for ourselves, then we're able to do that for others. I'm reminded of the quote by Margaret Mead, "Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Well, I would venture to say that anybody that's been here more than one Sunday, your world has changed. And it is because some of the people sitting right next to you, it is because the people that came before you, it's because of the people that came before them. We're doing it for each other, and we're doing it for those that have yet to come. Look at that ripple effect of love. I never really thought about our community before like a womb, but I'm beginning to see that. And part of being in community is we grow, we come into who we are, that begins more of the way that we express into the world, and then we're birthed. Then we're birthed into spiritually mature beings so that we can then become part of the container for others. Now I want to talk about love, and I want to talk about growing in community. I want to talk about this we thing. We grow in our families, and that's good. For a time, we need them to do so much for us and give us a real strong sense of who we are. And we shake off in our wonderful teenage years that which is our parent stuff and not our stuff. And then we go about like exploring that in our 20s and our 30s. And in spiritual community, it's a little bit of that. You know, a lot of us come in here as spiritual babies. We don't know who we are. We think we're our job, or we think we're our culture, or we think we're a whole bunch of things, anything other than a perfect, whole, and complete expression of the divine. You spend some time here, you meet these beautiful people, and we mirror each other's amazing perfection. How blessed we are that when I forget who I am, someone else remembers. When you forget who you are, I remember. We can take these classes that shore that up so it moves from just being a theology and just some words, some platitudes, right, into the actual way in which we express. Well, I'm going to call that for today growing up. And as we grow up, we're all at different stages, right? So I hope I've laid that foundation. Some of us are babies, some of us are teenagers, some of us are in our 20s, and you add whatever plus you want to add to that. I'm not going to do it for you. But we tend to grow all over each other. And sometimes when we grow all over each other, it's wonderful and it's magnificent. Oh my God, these are my people. I knew I was right about life. I knew life loved me. I knew I was powerful. I knew I could be or do or have anything that I want. And sometimes when we grow all over each other, it's messy, it's awkward. It might look like I'm rude, I'm short, and I'm sure you could add your own list to that, but I won't go on. And that's a beautiful thing too. It is a beautiful thing to grow all over each other. You want to know why? Because here in spiritual community, love is here to be given or received. In A Return to Love, Marianne Williamson says we're here for one or two reasons. We're either here to give love or we're here to receive love. How many times at home with our non-like-minded friends or family, how many times in our workplace, if we make a mistake, if we're having a bad day and we're cranky and we take it out on someone, is that not well received and we're criticized and put down or a judgment is made about us? But in spiritual community, when we do that, because that's the truth, we're going to do that. We are going to do that as long as we're on the planet. There are going to be days that we forget who we are and we're going to behave from that place. But in spiritual community, somebody knows who you are. This container of this community is just that. It's a container of your greatness. It's a container of our wholeness. It's a container of our perfection. So what better place to blossom into that than in community? Again, the power of we, a safe haven for me to go through my awkward, gawky teenage stage. Go through being 20. When I came to this community, I was 40-something. But emotionally and mentally, I probably walked through the doors as a 10-year-old. Somewhere I became about 14, and now I think I'm 30-something. And if I'm not, thank you for being part of my community and growing my greatness. And it's all right if you want to tell me. But what better place to be able to grow here? I was never made to feel wrong. I may have been held accountable, but you know what accountability here means? What you can count on me for. And if I say that I'm going to do something and I don't do it, or the way I show up is raggedy, you have the right to tell me, hey girl, I depended on you to show up this way. Please, you matter to me. What we're doing together matters together. This power of we. In our world, it seems like there's 7 billion people on the planet, and what do I mean? How much do I matter to life? Well, I'm going to tell you right here in this community, you matter. I'm going to tell you out there in the world, you matter. You matter to the divine. How do you know? Because you're here. So here is where you want to continue to grow and to thrive with others. We want to be that space of others. We want to be that space of compassion for them. We want to be clear about not only who we are, but who others are, because love has work to do as us. It isn't hard or laborious, but love wants to give of itself completely unfettered and freely in, as, and through us. And as we do that here in what sometimes we refer to as our spiritual bubble, then we're able to leave here and do that at home. We're able to do that when we go and visit our family members. You know that old joke, if you want to know how enlightened you are, just go spend a few days with your family. And a lot of times that feels painful to us. And a lot of times we leave there thinking, oh my God, my peace went right out the window. You know what? Good. Because that tells me that that is the place where I need to be prayed up. I need to do my affirmations. I might need to call a friend and say, okay, I need you to remind me of who I am. But more importantly, I say good because what we're called to be with our family members and our coworkers and our fellow inhabitants of this beautiful planet Earth, we're called to bring the love to wherever it is we're going, because we already are that. We're called to stop hiding it, stop putting it under a bushel because I might get hurt, these people aren't safe. Love doesn't harm us. Community doesn't harm us. If I move throughout the world knowing that the whole world is my family, that the whole world is my community, that together we can make it a world where we honor and respect one another's differences and authenticity, that we celebrate and create together, if I move through the world like that, what kind of magnet am I? I'm going to attract more love, more family. I'm going to be that for another. We know what that feels like. Somebody in your life loves you unconditionally. Somebody in your life accepts you unconditionally. And I believe if you're part of this community, there are several somebodies in this room. There are several somebodies in your classrooms or at Mystic Note Cafe or many of the other ways and the things that we do at the center. There are several somebodies remembering who you are and standing for love and supporting you in that. And don't we want to share that? Don't we want to go out and share that globally, not just locally, not where it's just convenient? So we come in community to remember who we are, to get clear about ourselves. Then we co-create our lives from this clarity, and we do it together. And then there comes that time in the spiritual journey and part of being community that you come and the music is good, but it ain't quite working for me. The message on Sunday, it spoke to me, but I think they're just saying the same thing over and over, just a bunch of different clever ways. The classes, oy vey, I don't want to read another book and another workshop, please, for Pete's sake. And you're like, what's wrong? Something's not quite right. What's going on? Is it me? Is it them? Of course, none of you do this, but I had the false notion when it was me. It must be them. It must be time for me to move on. It must be time for me to find a new spiritual home. And then it hit me, and it was a rough patch for a minute. It felt dark. I felt alone. I couldn't understand why the people that I've come to love so much weren't my tribe anymore. And then it was like, oh, I've been getting love all this time. Now it's my time to give the love. Now it's time for me to come on Sundays, not so much for the message. It's time for me to come as a physical piece of the container of love and of transformation, of peace and of healing and of wholeness. It's time for me to share my gifts and talents through my service. It's time for me to give to the financial prosperity of the center so that it continue to be here for another 50 years for those that are yet to come. And so then what my Sunday experience is like, that's a celebration too, but from a whole different place. Somehow I went from being a toddler to an adult. And part of being an adult, right, is when we're a child, the parents give. I like to say, I'm my son's ATM machine, but that's rapidly changing, and mother is quite grateful. Then we, right, all the parents in the house. And then we become that place where we're here to give, not just receive. But because we live in a reciprocal universe, I can't not get back. But what I'm here for is in service to love. I was in service to love before, but I was on the receiving end. And it was you all, it was this precious community that helped me heal and grow. And I'm so delighted and grateful to be a part of that for others. I said last Sunday, and I'll say it again very briefly, you have no idea, but I hope that you'll leave here with one, the importance of your personal spiritual growth. The importance of you choosing to be the love that you are, to be the truth that you are, to be the light that you are, as often as you possibly can. It changes lives, not just here with the people sitting next to us or the people that might be going throughout the center that we don't even know yet, or the people in this parking lot or the people in this city. I shared last week that my dad, in 3 months, completely went from being a racist and a bigot and a bunch of other things to he was able to be loved and he was able to give love back. He was able to reconnect with a son that he hadn't seen in 30 plus years. And when I called my brother to say, hey, you don't know me, I'm your sister, our dad is dying, I would love it if you would come, but you might not want to. But if it was me, I would want somebody to tell me. He was like, well, I'll come see you and your kids, but I don't want to have anything to do with him. I was like, so be it, whatever. But I still was believing in love. And I still had my practitioner friends praying. And can I tell you, when my dad and my brother reconnected, they cried. They held each other and they cried. And my brother showed up and he was bitter and he was mad and he had every right to be because he grew up without his dad. But when I talk about the power of community and the power of love, these aren't just words. They changed lives. They changed my brother's life, his children's life, his wife's life, my children's life, my family's life. And it was this community that made that possible. One precious community member gifted us with plane tickets to go home to make that happen. Who we are is important. Again, I will say to you, never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. For indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Please close your eyes and go within with me. You just talk.
Community, to come and unite. And as I stand here, I am truly grateful to be able to say that every single time I come into this building, it seems to summon up a feeling of connection. And I begin to see a reflection of each of you and me, which is perhaps simply my extrasensory perception of the unity that I so appreciate within this, yes, my spiritual community, which from the beginning has only offered me the opportunity simply just to be me, just to be free, to be all that I can be, just to be a part of this power called we, community. A community, a spiritual family, unified yet not uniform, a unique combination of true sisters and brothers consisting of various persuasions, different shades and colors, a community. And such a lovable, huggable congregation, and very much a colorful constellation made of literally stars. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that sometimes there are collisions that sometimes cause division. But we all come back and combine in a matter of time, being that we are all interdependent parts of this universe, this great organism, a community. And I am so grateful for the scientific community as they have now come to discover the spiritual truth that we are not merely our brother's keeper. No, it is much deeper. We truly are our brother, a community, a rock, a boulder to lean upon if need be, that shoulder to cry upon. And since love is the nucleus of all there is, then love is all that I'm relying on, a community. And love will never allow me to leave you to hang when I perceive that you're in pain, or never lead you to judge me when I'm tripping or shrug me off like good riddance. No, love, compassion is when we are willing to give to one another what is probably our most precious commodity, our undivided attention. See, what I mean is that sometimes it seems that the most loving thing that we can do for anyone else and also to ourselves, is to quiet our minds and just listen. I now release this vision, my piece of this benediction, into the silence of this community.
So I'm so grateful to have found a place where love is overflowing. I'm so grateful to have found a home where those beside me and those before me and those yet to come after me mirror not only my perfection, but life is such a gift and such a blessing. It allows me to do the same. I'm so grateful for this thing we called the Center for Spiritual Living and Community and New Member Sunday to be the place where I'm allowed to grow up. I'm allowed to evolve and expand into more love and more light and more truth and more freedom and more peace and more passion. And most importantly, I am grateful that this place is here for all of us, that this is the truth about who we are and what we are together. We are simply love, giving unto itself and receiving more love. And as we do that, the ripple effect in the world is we actually live in a world that is of love. We actually are the difference. We actually are the change that we want to see. How blessed and grateful we are to have this spiritual home, but most importantly, to remember that that home is right where we are. Because inside each of us is the infinite wellspring of love, is home. And how grateful we are to be home for one another, to be here for one another. And we simply just give thanks for the opportunity to serve love in this way and to be served by love. To remember that we live in a world of love right inside of us and is forever seeking to express outside of us.